Hi Year Sixes. I'm gonna do the flood prac for you. Now I don't know if your teacher has given you this prac sheet, but this is the prac sheet that I'm following. So I'll show you my setup. I've got my 3 funnels with filter paper in them, and they are all sitting above a measuring cylinder. Just move this out of the way. So we can measure how much water comes out. Now, this right here is my balance. So I'm gonna weigh out, I've got 3 different setups. So I'm gonna trial 3 different substances. So my substances, we've got some seed raising potting mix. I've got some clay, which if you don't know what clay is, you've probably got some on your block of land. Well, I don't know where you live, but in areas of Victoria and the world, the soil is, when you touch it, it's really fine. I don't know if you can see that. It's really fine and like hard. Whereas like healthy soil is quite, like you can move it around and it's gritty and it's like all different sized particles, whereas clay is all really, really tiny particles. So it's like a fine dust. So I've got some clay, I've got some potting mix, and I've also got some sand, which we all know is just sand. All right, so now to do this experiment, I'm basically gonna see how much water runs through each of these substances. So once we figure out which one of these substances retains the most water, those kind of results can give you an indication of how that might affect a flood. So if there's like rising water from a riverbed or something, what would be the difference if the riverbed was made of sand, clay, or regular kind of airy soil? Would there be a difference in the flood destruction, basically? So that's the experiment we're going to do today. I'm going to set it up, and when I set it up, I'm going to try and keep all the variables the same, so you know we can compare them with each other. So I thought I would weigh the same amount of substance into each one first. So my beaker on the scales, gonna zero that. We'll weigh out some dirt first. I haven't decided how much weight I'm going to put in there, but I thought I'd just put some dirt in the beaker and get a vibe for how much I want to use, and then make everyone after that the same weight. Alright, so here we go. Just weighing out. Oh, and if you can see, that's the dirt. It's like got sticks and stuff in it, like regular dirt. Put that in there. We're at 7.5 grams, and that's about that much. I think I might just, round it up and try and make it 10 grams. And then I'll weigh the rest of them as 10 grams as well. 9.5. 10. All right. Now I'm going to put this soil in my first funnel. So that's funnel number 1, if you will. If you're taking down results, we've got funnel number 1 has soil. Move that away. Now I'm going to measure 10 grams of sand. You know what? I think I might actually put some more in. I don't like that it's not filling up the funnel enough. So I'm going to put some more in. I'm going to pause this while I weigh it. Alright, I'm back. I've weighed it out. So I've just weighed out 40 grams, and we have 10 grams in there already. So I'm adding this. Yeah, that's a better amount. So if you're writing down these results, it's not 10 grams, sorry, like I originally said. We're actually going to use 50 grams. 50 grams of soil, great. Re-zero that. Now I'm going to weigh out 50 grams of sand. Whoa, there's a lot more. I'm just going to pause this while I figure this. Okay, so I weighed out 50 grams of sand. Look at that. That is a lot less than the soil. The soil was like full at 50 grams. So what do you think the reasoning behind that is? Like, why is there so much less sand, but it still weighs 50 grams? Why? Okay. And those kind of thoughts can lead you to your more hypotheses about what might happen when we put water in there. Okay, 50 grams of sand, done. Last one, clay. Got my clay. Where's my spoon? All right, so I'm gonna weigh out 50 grams of clay. You can see the clay, oh, there we go. See how it's really fine? It's just like really, really fine dirt. So I'm just weighing out 50 grams. Okay. All right, there's 50 grams of clay. So that's going in the last one. Okay. Now, I'm going to put 100 ml of water in each one. And then we're going to see how much of that water comes out into the bottom. So I'm just using my distilled water. I might pause this because it's boring and I'll just... Okay, so you didn't have to watch me fill up the measuring cylinder. There's 100 grams. Pouring it in. Alright, next one. I'll try and be quick. Oh, there we go. 100 ml into the sand. Can you see that we've got some drippage already? And the last one, let's do 100 ml into the clay. All right. And then we wait. You can already see this soil is up to 80 mil. Sand is rising right before your eyes. And then the clay, look at that, it's actually really interesting. The clay has made it cloudy. It's not cloudy in any of these ones. So that cloudiness, it's actually gone through the filter paper. The filter paper is not fine enough to get rid of that. But anyway, I'm going to pause this and I'll come back in like 5 minutes and we'll see what the results are. Hi! It's been 5 minutes and we have some results. Look at that. You can really see, you can clearly see the difference. So we've got soil, sand, and clay. I'm going to give you the actual like readings so you can write this down. So for soil, we put in 100 mil and we have got 85 mil has come through. So 85% of that water has gotten through. Now with the sand, put in 100 mil and we've got 81 mil has gotten through the sand out of 100. Now the clay, it's still dripping, but it's very slow. Like it's been dripping, it's taken 5 minutes, so it hasn't filtered very well. We've only got 58 mil through the clay after 5 minutes. So that's really interesting. What do you think that would mean if like a house was built on purely just clay and they lived next to a river and then the riverbed rose? What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen with the water that's sitting on top of that clay as opposed to if it was sand or soil? I can show you as well. Hang on. I'm just going to show you the insides of funnels. So you can see here, there's actually water still sitting on top of the clay. It hasn't even, it's just sitting on top of there and really slowly draining through. Now the sand, there's no water sitting on top, but it's very wet and like wet, clumpy sand. And the soil, if you can see that, it actually hasn't even, it's only wet this area where I poured it. It didn't, These bits are still completely dry. It's just wet that, and because it's filtered so fast, it hasn't pooled over the whole area. So yeah, there's your results. So it's gone up now, but over time, it's definitely slower. I hope you enjoyed that.